Some Baja Man, but welcome to the BG Sports Podcast, everyone. I'm your host, Yvette, and today I am with Bill and Rod. So I'm so excited to have them here. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please, I'm begging you guys, hit the subscribe button. It'll help. Thank you. And as always, thank you for being here. I'm always overjoyed that I get a chance to do this and that people actually watch. And speaking of that, let's just forget all this because we have to talk about some. We had a game on Sunday. We played the Baltimore Ravens. We won that game. Did you guys watch it?
The whole thing.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I was telling Yvette before we started. I was out with some coworkers. So I was in a Bengals bar with the only Browns, the only TV the Browns game was on was behind me. So I caught little bits and pieces of the first half, and then I drove home and I watched like about halfway through the third quarter on, which was the good part. And then I watched the recording of the first half. So I saw almost all of it, I think. But I saw the best parts of it for sure. I may have missed a couple minutes at the beginning of the third quarter. It's probably the only part I didn't see.
Yes. What about you? Where were you at, Bill, when you watched the game?
Well, I had actually texted Rod to say, hey, what are you doing? So we go to our usual place to meet to watch the game. But he had said he was going to head down to Cincinnati. So I watched it from home. And I was so frustrated by halftime. And my wife and I said, let's go walk the dogs. I'm like, fine, I need to get out of here right now. Mm-hmm. And then when I came back, I just missed the touchdown pass to OBJ. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to watch the rest of this. Why? I don't know. What makes us continue watching after the first 8 minutes of hell?
I don't know, because it started off horrible, right? It started off like our worst nightmare, what we did not want to see happen. It wasn't good in the first half. So
it couldn't have been any worse than the first play, right?
It was brutal.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, before you even got a chance to sit down, I mean, I was literally in the middle of like putting my lime down my Corona. It was just like, it didn't even hit the bottle yet. The lime was like this. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Here we go again. No, not today. Not like this. But I guess it didn't happen that way, right? Because I wasn't the only person that felt that way. Thank God the Browns felt like that too, because in the fourth quarter, I have chills thinking about it. Because when do we ever come back? When do we come back and win a game like that against a team like the Baltimore Ravens? Well, let's be honest, is, out there. I mean, I thought the 49ers was a big W. I mean, I think right now, what do you guys think?
Is
this a bigger W than the 49ers when we got that?
I was at the 49ers game, and I wasn't at this one. I mean, the 49ers game was huge because it made a statement to the league. I mean, this was kind of a division statement. I think overall the probably equally as big. I don't know. What do you think, Bill?
I had this game circled on my calendar at the beginning of the year. I said, no matter where we are up to this point, this is going to be a key matchup, because at the time, we didn't know if we were going to win or lose the first game with them, right? And I had this as, okay, this is week 10. This game right here is everything. If we lose the first game, we lose this, then I mean everything's on the line this year, right? You agree everything's on the line? So I thought this win was bigger than San Francisco's because for the past 3 weeks, all that we've heard is like, oh, Baltimore's the best. Baltimore's the best team in the NFL. Ravens are the best team in the NFL. Blah, 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 blah. We both got lucky, and then we just made more plays at the end than they did. I thought this was a bigger game than the San Francisco win.
Yeah. I think now, like in hindsight, yes, I would say this is definitely a bigger game than the San Francisco win. I think that game, that was just one of those fluky wins that I don't know. But this game against the Ravens, when we needed to see what Deshaun Watson was going to do, like this was it, right? This was it. If we blew this game and we looked terrible, I mean, I don't know if anyone was really going to have that much more confidence left going into the rest of the season, especially like the next game that we do have coming up. So it's a big game to win. What do you guys? What is your biggest takeaway? I know there's so much to talk about it, but after the end of the game, what is like your biggest takeaway from the game?
Rod, you want to go first?
Sure. I think my biggest takeaway is just that this team believed in itself, and they didn't give up, and they were down. Was it 14-0, and then 17-3, and from that point on, they outscored the Ravens. I'm trying to do the math again in my head real quick here. From 17-3, with about half of the second quarter left, they outscored the Ravens. Ravens only scored 30-14.
Yeah.
And they really took the game over and just plain outplayed the Ravens in almost all phases from there on out. And you could see it. There were just so many plays that everybody's, been posting on Twitter, whether it's the Njoku play or the push him in the ass play or whatever play, or the tush push. I mean, just a lot of great plays, team plays where guys just weren't giving up. That's
what we needed to see. That's what we needed to see. Like, I'm happy to see that. Like, the one thing that the Browns I've never got a chance to witness is the Browns being a closing team, like actually finishing a game, coming down from a deficit like that and then coming back. That was amazing to watch. Like Deshaun Watson, perfect in the second half. Crazy. I think he needed that. We all needed to see that.
Yeah.
I think he needed that for his confidence as well. I don't even want to say. I don't even know what my favorite part of the game is. I think it was just like the last drive.
There's so many things. My big takeaway from this game was we didn't play a perfect game and we still won. And that to me is the biggest thing that I could walk out of here. When it was over and I'm texting my boys, I'm like, I can't believe it. I said, even Yvette, you guys said, Lysandra said last week on your show, she said, we have to literally, every phase has to play perfect in order for us to have a chance to win, especially because we had both starting tackles out, right? I mean, she said it so well. She's like, we got to play a perfect game. Well, guess what? We sure as hell didn't play a perfect game. And neither did Baltimore. Don't get me wrong. We definitely did something about that. But boy, I tell you, we made enough plays there at different parts. Who would have known that one of the biggest plays, I mean, there were a total, we can talk about every one of them. One of the biggest plays was the blocked field goal. We stopped them from getting points at the end of the first half. When's the last time that we've done that? I think the past 5 games we played the Ravens, they scored a touchdown or a field goal at the end of the half every single time, either by something stupid we did or something else. This is the first time we're like, hey, you know what? Nope, you're not getting anything.
That's not today. No.
Yeah, I mean, I think that special teams and the players deserve a lot of credit too. But man, this team's blocking field goals. I mean, give Miles credit, and I'm not even sure who got the block this week. But I can't remember which player it was. But
I'm glad you said that. I have that.
This is just stuff that we're Bill, look that up for me, please.
I am. I'm working it.
But this is stuff that we haven't been getting. So I guess Bubba deserves some credit. The players deserve credit because the players are showing that they want to be on special teams and play hard and make plays. It just looks different out there. And we got a kicker who's,
yes, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
You guys, when we were losing by a point, what were you guys thinking? I'm like, if we lose this game by a point, a part of me is like, I'm still happy. I felt happy because we had come back, and a scene just to see them fight so hard made me feel happy. But
I felt good at that point, even with the missed extra point.
Yes.
So I tweeted out, I said, if you guys think the Browns just lost because they missed that extra point, get off my timeline or stay off my timeline, because the team was going so well at that point. You just have to, keep that confidence going in the team. And the team didn't lose any confidence when they missed that extra point. They just kept playing.
Yeah.
When
Thank God.
To me, it was such a Browns thing, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah, it was.
It was, right? Let's face it. It was such a Browns thing. Like, oh my gosh, Newsome, great interception. Hot dog, here we go. We're tied up, right? And I'm thinking, this is great. Just when you're thinking, just as great, you're like, oh my God, it went left. Are you kidding me?
Like, oh.
It was Elliott. It was Elliott who blocked it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I agree. There was a lot of time left on the clock. We just needed a big stop, which, my God, the defense did again. And then I tell you, just that Ravens defense, how many plays we outran? I take it back. We had 33 to 34 minutes of the possession of the ball, and in the second half was like 18 minutes.
Crazy.
That as gassed as our defense was the first game, you could see Baltimore's defense was just totally gassed the fourth quarter.
I would love to be flying the wall in the Baltimore locker room, because I know the Browns locker room was hype. Oh, and they needed that. We all needed that. Like, after the game, I just was like, I was so happy for everyone. Like, as Browns fans, I was just happy for, like, we all deserve it. I mean, it's one of those things you don't know unless you know. I'm trying to get onto my X page here because I know there were some things that people wanted to discuss.
Well, when was the last time we beat Baltimore in Baltimore? Was it with I'm trying to think what coach we had. I don't think it was Stefanski.
Yeah, that I don't know.
So I think it had to have been oh man. I got to look that up. I didn't even think about that.
It's probably
when's the last time we won in Baltimore?
It's probably been quite a while.
What game do you think was better? Well, obviously probably this one because we won, but remember the Baker Mayfield? That was such a great. I feel like this was like the ending that we needed to that game when I would say when Lamar came back from whatever he was doing and won.
After the Taco Bell run the night before.
Yeah. All right, please just let everyone keep overlooking. Yeah, that's good.
Are you saying like what are you saying, like how significant was this win? Or like, are you saying put it in the context of is this one of their biggest wins? I might say this is one of their biggest regular season wins that didn't send us to the playoffs.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Yeah,
I would agree.
I was going to ask, like, where would you guys rank this as being a Browns fan and watching a game under the circumstances of like everything that was going on, and where would you rank this game up there?
I will say this, man. I think I hit every single emotion from sheer ecstasy to I want to hurt something and break something. I mean, everything. I don't remember the last time I experienced something is up and down like that. I mean, like the first half was all down. Don't get me wrong, but that block field goal made me think, okay, we Justin Tucker, who's he?
Right.
And then we go down and get a field goal to end the half, right? And then I'm thinking, okay, we got a lot to do, but but it just this was a big roller coaster game. I don't remember the last time. I don't think my heart's gonna. I don't think any of our hearts are gonna make it to the playoffs.
I don't know.
Don't even bring us to the playoffs. I don't know if half the fans are gonna be like, I'm done.
Well, this is I know. I don't even know how we're all surviving. I think that every game takes at least 2 to 3 years of our lives, years off our life. I have a comment here from Rain Man, the Rain Man on X. I keep on seeing Twitter. It says Browns' remaining schedule is harder than people think. We have the Rams, Bears, Jets, all should win. Steelers, Jags, Bengals, Texans, and Broncos will be battles. He'd like to hear this discussion. So what do you guys think about this? This schedule coming up?
Well, let me tell you, if you think ours looks hard, first of all, I'm not big into looking ahead on the schedule. I honestly haven't even known who the Browns have been, who's been next on the schedule most of the season. I've been looking one game at a time, just like the team has, I believe.
Oh, but you bought into Stefanski, brother.
I'm buying in, man. I am in. So, but if you think
game is the most important game of your life.
That's right. if you think the Browns schedule looks hard, look at the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Bengals schedules.
Yeah.
Theirs are just as hard, if not harder than ours. They've got games. They still have games left against the 49ers and the Chiefs and the other teams in the division too. So I'm not worried about the schedule. I think the Browns will continue to take it one game at a time, and I think they have a good chance to do pretty well. I think they have some very winnable games on the remainder of that stretch, and I think they'll match up very well against some of those teams that whoever commented on that was concerned about. Are they going to win every game? Probably not, but I think they have a chance to do pretty well.
Yeah, I think if you want to pick a game, I think the Houston game we thought at the beginning of the year was going to be an easy win, and now that could be a toss-up. Yeah. I think we'll still beat the Broncos. But you look at that, Jacksonville's in dire need of a win. I mean, my gosh, that team is just from where they were.
Trevor Lawrence. Jacksonville was one of those teams that they were hyping up so much in the preseason.
They were 4-1, and then all of a sudden
start out well, yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, "Who off the defense?"
This is why you don't go through the schedule at the beginning of the season. Say that's a win, that's a loss, because it changes week to week. Even by those last few games of the season, those could look different to the Browns than they do right now too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's say they get to that first place position, and then your last 2 games, you're like, you know what? I can't believe I'm going to say this. If they get to that point, they can be like, hey, you know what? We can cruise in. If we're in good shape.
You're funny, Bill.
Okay.
We're going to arrest our guys the last 2
I don't know who said that. Somebody took over my body there for a second, Rod. I don't know who said that.
Well, I was going to say this. Let's think about this. These are the teams that everybody loves or thought that was going to win the Super Bowl. Okay, at the beginning, the 49ers, we beat them. The Bengals, we beat them. The Ravens, we beat them.
Yeah.
Now what?
Yeah.
I don't know. The Bills I thought were going to go well, and now you talk about a Browns way to lose a game yesterday.
They looked like the Browns.
Oh my God!
That was a Browns way to lose a football game, baby.
Wow.
I feel bad.
This is good. Not to be us.
Buffalo is probably the closest city. The fans are the closest to us, right? Not just being on the Lake Erie together, but I think just the same kind of town. Absolutely. And I think a lot of us, when we were done, were cheering for Bills, last year. Yeah. Look at what they have this year. Fire your offensive coordinator. Wow.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. It does feel good to sit back and to see the disasters of some other teams, but for once, it's nice to see the Browns on the up. I really, really hope we can continue this momentum next week at home against the dreaded Pittsburgh Steelers, for some reason, this is the one thing, like, I always talk about being from Youngstown. I know, but that I am from Youngstown, and it is different here. It is different here. We're so close to Pittsburgh. It is. You go to Cleveland. It's so nice when I go to Cleveland because there's so many Browns fans. I feel different here. I feel like I'm in Pittsburgh country here. But anyways, we really need to win. Either way, with that being said, I always picked on going to school, picked on going to work, because every year I always feel so confident, like we're gonna kick your ass, like this is a year you guys are going down, and I'll go to work and it'll just be like a Twitter thread, but instead of it's me walking to work, people waiting by their car and their Steelers themes like ha ha clown face, like throwing clown face emojis at me. That's my life, in Youngstown. So, but I mean, are they lying? Do they own us? Yeah, they fucking owned us. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger, how many times he won more games at home than any of our quarterbacks? It's the truth. I'm over it. Like, we need to stop it. Like this, they beat us already once, so they can't
beat ourselves.
We know what happened in that game. Yeah.
Yeah, but they always find a way to win, though. It doesn't matter. They always find a way to win.
It's frustrating because
So what do you think is the biggest challenge then next? Like I asked that on X, what's the biggest challenge to beat the Steelers? What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, for me, it's just the Browns have to play their game and not get drugged down into the muck and the slop with the Steelers and turn this into a pissing match and all this bull crap style of play that the Steelers end up playing against the Browns to where it's 3-5 at halftime. The Browns have to play their game. They have to play well on defense like they've been doing. Just shut that very limited Steelers offense down, and they have to not make mistakes on offense. If they can play relatively mistake-free on offense, even if there are a few sacks, who cares? It's about the turnovers.
Yeah.
And the Browns have been pretty good taking care of the ball the past couple of weeks. So I think if they can do that, I think this Browns defense is going to come in really fired up in this game. And I think the offense is going to have a lot to say, especially the running backs. I think that'll do it.
Yeah, I'd say we can't turn it over.
Prediction yet.
I think you're absolutely right. We can't turn it over. But I tell you, man, I'd like to see Stefanski just open up the playbook occasionally. I'd like to see him roll the dice a little bit more. I mean, I would just absolutely love to see, after we've started almost every single game off with a run, I would just love to do a Bernie Kosar. Hey guys, let's just go long. Let's just right from the get-go, let's go long and let's let them know we're here to kind of blow this game out of the water against them. I'd like to see that. Will that happen? I hope we do. I hope we, like you said, and you hit it right. You hit it right on. I do not want to get into a slugfest with them. I don't want to do that. I want to get into a match where we overpower them and we run them over, and we just.
That's how they win, though. They turn it into a who's tougher kind of game, and and all this stuff. And the Browns don't need that. The Browns need to play a who's a better football team game, and there's no doubt about who's a better football team.
Yeah. I just hope that scoreboard reflects that at the end of the game.
That's right.
Because if not, I'm going to show the Browns who's really is the toughest, and that's Yvette from Youngstown, because I'm going to whip that ass if they let the Steelers beat us at home. It's personal. Not at home, right? It's personal.
Yeah.
They cannot do that. It's not going to happen. I don't know. If they do lose, will that take away any of your hope or happiness after this win against the Ravens? If we lose against the Steelers?
I'd hate it because
I say, "Oh God, the Steelers just have our number." I'm so sick of that. Like,
I would hate it. I would hate it because I hate the Steelers. But we still have other games left, and we just need to keep winning games, right? That's all we need to do. And if there's something fluky that happens, like, let's say dropping a punt late in the fourth quarter, you just don't want to allow Pittsburgh to get any momentum at all. Let's take the momentum from the get-go and let it go.
Yeah.
They are not going to lose this game. I'll just leave it at that.
You promise?
I promise.
The Slytherins. Last time I was with you guys, we talked about Harry Potter and the references. If I could think of anybody to be Slytherins, it's the frickin' Steelers. I mean, come on. Let's have a Quidditch match and let's kick that butt. With our Nimbus 2000. I am drinking 3 different things right now. A Corona. I keep going for it, and this Monaca. I love these names, but what are you guys gonna do for the game?
Well, I'm going to be in Chicago this weekend, so I'm coming back. I'm going to be driving back, hopefully being able to pick it up somewhere on the radio. So,
oh yeah, I'm sure.
It's a birthday present weekend, so I gotta figure out on our drive home how am I going to hear the game. I don't know. Rod, I may have to ask you to.
You'll find a way.
Put your phone on while I'm driving.
Well.
I keep putting the same comment back on.
Unfortunately, for the second weekend in a row, I'm going to miss the game live. I will be at a craft show with my wife. This was the one Sunday craft show she set up, and so I have to be there to help.
You are a great. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe it's a good omen then, since you didn't watch the last game completely live. You know what I mean? Keep it going like that.
Well. Let's say I love watching games with Bill, but we don't have a really good record when we watch games together.
Is Bill the cooler?
What's that?
Is Bill the cooler? Like the bad luck?
Yeah. I swear more. Rod is so even keel. I get more emotional. Rod is like, it'll be good. It'll be okay. We'll be okay. And I'm like, no, it's not going to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that's the cooler. I would just say I'm a little bit more of, I would say emotional than Rod is. I have to do more of Lana's relaxation stuff. That's what I need to do. Is more of her relaxation.
Speaking of Lana and Lysandra, let me give a shout out to the Squad Pod. # Squad Pod. Whoop, whoop. See you guys next Tuesday when we have our Friendsgiving episode. You definitely want to check that out. I love them. I will actually be with Lana Sunday at the Steelers Browns game. We'll be tailgating together for sure, and then maybe later, who knows what's gonna happen.
Well,
you never know. Maybe I'm gonna go to the game with her on the sidelines. Maybe I'm not. I don't know.
Is this the game where she won the tickets for?
Yeah, and she might have an extra ticket, and she may have asked me to go, and I may. I don't know. I mean, we don't know if our friend can't go. I mean, I hope her friend can go. Right? God, we all want our friend to go.
Okay.
Anyways, either way, I'll be tailgating. At the Muni lot. Probably be my last tailgate. I don't know. I won't say that. I mean, I still might go to some games, but I don't like the cold. I'll be like, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like to be. I'm like one of those girls. Fuck it, yeah. I tell the truth all the time. I never lie. I don't like to sit outside in the cold. I'd rather be nice and warm. And I get really cold fast. I do. I don't want to sit outside. It's too cold. It's no fun. No way. And what do you guys think about with obviously here I can't watch games in Youngstown because you don't want to watch games with Steelers fans. Never want to watch games with Steelers fans. But do you guys like let's just say if you were home and you had the opportunity to watch the game, when it comes to those type of games where AFC North games, big games, do you like watching them alone or would you rather be in a crowd or how do you like those kind of games?
That's a good question.
Go ahead, Bill. Sorry.
I would say so Rod and I watched the Nick Chubb game. I guess we should just call it the Nick Chubb game, right, Rod? Is that what you just start calling it?
It'll always be. Yeah.
That's what it'll always be, right? I think there's something about watching a game, and especially I'd say AFC North opponents. I think AFC North opponents, those are the games that you like to watch with. Like my brother-in-law, big Cincinnati fan, right? My sister-in-law, big Buffalo fan, right? And you get together as family because let's face it, I mean, that's how a lot of us grew up with the Browns was we got together with family and we watched games, right? And I still think that there's that social aspect that is important. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times I'd probably be like, let me just watch this game, and I just want to scream and yell at myself, right? But I would say in a big game like AFC North, those kind of games, I like to have people around, even people that that are Bengals fans. I want them around too, because that's what I did in college. When I went to Miami, that's what we did. It was half the room would be Cleveland, the other half would be Cincinnati, half would be Pittsburgh, the other half would be Cleveland. You know, and then it was a free for all.
You want to vibe off the crowd. I get it. Yeah, I get it. What about you?
I think it's kind of the same thing, and it would kind of be good to know how the game is going to turn out before you decide, because on these games when it doesn't go so well, I'd kind of like to just watch it myself, because
if you follow the trend, Rod,
because I've got this I got this reputation as being calm and everything, and it's not necessarily always the case, especially when I'm by myself. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun to be in a big group, especially if you're in a big group with like Sunday's game against Baltimore at the end there when Browns kicked that field goal. It's just, it's almost like being at the game.
There were 3 people in the stands going crazy. Did you see that?
What's that?
When the ball went through, there were 3 people down in like the lower right of the stand just going crazy. And I thought, is Spider there? Where's Spider? We gotta find Spider.
He was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I kind of like, and I did this for the Nick Chubb game, like we'll call it the Nick Chubb game. I did an Aaron Rodgers thing where I just like went into the darkness. I want to be by myself. I don't want to talk to anyone because I don't know. It's just so tense. And just look what happened. You know what I mean? And like you guys said, imagine the roller coaster. There's a lot of emotions you go through. And then the people that you're with, they have to be able to accept those emotions. So if you're with like a bunch of Browns people that get it, yeah. But if you're with somebody that, maybe they're not a Browns fan or maybe not even to like a big football fan, it's hard. So I don't know, but it's fun. For this game, I don't know what I'm doing yet. Like I said, if I don't go to the game, some of my friends they're getting a table at a bar in Cleveland, and they're going to watch it there. And that's, to me, when I go to a bar, that's where I see it the least, because I'm just like this, looking at what everything else is going on, and there's too much going on,
Yeah.
A family house parties, you get kind of a group, but the people that you like, so you could still feel good and relax, Every different strokes for different folks, different planes for different games,
Rod and I live down here in Dayton, so there are a couple bars down here that are quote unquote Browns bars.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one bar where we live, because we're only about a mile from each other. Like I could probably like run over to his house and the show would still be on. So I wouldn't run, I'd be walking because my running wouldn't be really good. But there's a bar not that far away. It's half Steelers, half Browns. And I went to that, I'll call it the Myles Garrett helmet game. So
my God.
Half the bar is Pittsburgh, the other half the bar is Cleveland. And it got to a point we were kind of mixed together, and then we kind of slowly moved to different sides of the bar. Right. So there would be like 30 Steelers fans on one side. There were like 35 Browns on the other. And it was fun. I mean, we were jawing back and forth with each other. And right before that, the whole thing happened, the Steelers fans were like, oh, you got us this time, right? And then, of course, the helmet and everything. And we were all like, what the hell did we just see? But I mean, there is something about these big rivalry games that you want to watch it with other people. And especially friends, even if they're friends who are fans of the other team. I still think that there's something social about that. Ever since the pandemic, I think we've gotten closer with our families. I think many people have. And trust me, I whenever I get a chance to have my boys and our family come and watch stuff together, by all means, we do that. Right. But there is something about being with the rest of your friends or even strangers that you don't know who are Browns fans and like, let's go.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is a big thing to me. This is funny. Like after the game, I feel like the people that you care about, you go Browns them. If you like someone, like like I'm mad at someone because they didn't go Browns me. Do you think that's like a real like a good, I'm serious. I am totally mad at someone right now because I didn't get to go Browns from that person. So I felt like you can't possibly like me if you did not go
Is that
Browns
like a
me.
tweet or a DM or what?
Of anything, like a tweet,
Okay.
like to
Right.
me, if you're
You
trying
don't want
to
to
be
get on
like,
a bad list.
I'm going to
here.
put that on my calendar.
Yeah, gotta remember
Your
this.
DM, your vet after the game.
well, yeah,
Calendar.
yes.
Add that because I get the Browns. You know, everybody subscribes to the Browns calendar, right? The Browns calendar pop up on your phone, right?
Yeah.
Everybody gets that, right?
No.
If you don't get that, you need to subscribe to it, people. I bet Ed in Columbus has it, right, Ed?
Go ahead, just plug it up.
Browns. I don't know what you're talking about, honestly.
The Browns calendar.
I get the Browns, the Guardians, and the Cavaliers. So every day I'm like in the middle of class and I'm teaching, and I'll hear this ping, and I'm like, "Oh crap, it's going to be a Cavaliers update." I'm like, "Doggone it, I got to turn that off."
Yeah, that's like me. My fantasy football updates, like nonstop. Too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know. Real friends go Browns each other. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
So, Yvette, let me ask you: when you watch the game, what is your favorite jersey to wear? What is your hookup?
Oh, my game day outfit. You know, my game day for the day.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, it's totally thought of, and it means a lot. Like that's one of the best parts of game day to me. I try to make. I always wear Browns. I'm always wearing Browns. Like I think it's so funny. I'm almost have more sports clothes now than regular clothes. Like everything I have is something. Thanks to homage. Thank you.
There you go.
But seriously, yeah. Like I think Sunday I think I'm gonna wear my Nick Chubb jersey Sunday. What do you got? I'm feeling like yes. I'm the what same way. I actually have it right here. I was feeling and I'm like, what should I wear to on this Sunday? I think I'm going to because revenge game, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that. I'm thinking maybe the jersey, and I don't know how cold it's gonna be though. So I wanted to wear my pimp Joe Namath thrift store, like but you know how Joe Namath used to wear the fur coat on the
oh yeah.
I have this book right here. Hold on a second.
Broadway Joe was the best, man.
Yes.
There he is.
Nice.
I have I have one of his coats. Well, I wear it and I feel like I'm him when he wears it. I wanted to wear that, but it depends on what the weather is. Yeah. It might be too much, but I mean it's never too much, right? No, never. Yeah. So I don't know.
I know I've got to figure out I think I need to get a couple more jerseys. So this is the jersey I plan to wear when we make it to the Super Bowl. This is I am wearing Ernest Biner's jersey. This is actually signed by Biner. My boys got this for me. And it is one of the most prized possessions that I have in terms of sporting gear, right? And I said, we ever make the Super Bowl, that I am wearing this bad boy. But I have like 3 different Nick Chubb jerseys, an orange, a brown, and a white one, like the white one, right?
I only have 2. I have one signed one, and I have this one.
But you guys, let me ask you guys this because I was thinking about this. I had Paul Brown, the guy from the UK, and we're talking about. I'm just bringing all my stuff here. This is what DeWand, my friend. Whoop, whoop. We're friends now. You know, ever since I brought him handles, we're kind of like friends. Really, he follows me. We DM'd each other a couple times. But anyways, actually, he's a very, very nice guy, and it is really cool. But I like the experience of it. And he's like, I don't really like autographs. Okay, well, I had a friend invite me to go see Brian Sipe and Clay Matthews, and I've never gone to an autograph signing before. It was my first time, so I didn't know what to do. Like, so I didn't bring anything with me, and I don't know, it was like $20. And to me, I was like, okay, well, I'll pay. I told the guy when I first came, I was like, I'll just pay $20. He's like, what do you want autograph? I was like, I don't want anything autograph. I was like, here's $20 for the experience, like. Because I like I said, it was my first time and I didn't know. Like I figured I have my hat or whatever, I can have them do it. He's like, okay, whatever. So they let me go through, and they ended up he autographed my hat and everything for me. And I thought I would have paid $1,000 for the experience. So I think it's what you make of it. If you want to go get an autograph, I think it's awesome because it's what you make of it. And it's those seconds you had with him. Like I legitimately had a conversation with Brian Sipe while we were, so I don't think there's anything wrong with people that want to get autographs. Whatever you like and whatever you do it. I'm just so sick of people always thinking, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's stupid. That's stupid. Why? Freaking who cares? Do whatever you want. When you go to autograph and get an autograph. If I see Nick Chubb somewhere, I'd be like, Nick Chubb! I'd go absolutely berserk to get his autograph. I have a daughter, though, so that's good. And she's really cute. And she's 4, so I could be like, look at...
I think any Browns fan would be like that with Nick Chubb.
Of course. Exactly. That's true, right? With Nick Chubb, yeah, that is. But,
or they'll just say, hey, sup, man.
Mm-hmm.
Except Bill. He would be cool about it.
Well, see, if you ever get a chance to do something like that, do it. You see the cardiac kids, you see they're coming somewhere, and you're like, I don't know about it. Do it. It was like the best experience. You have that story for life. Like, I have conversation with Brian Seif. I told him I got to watch. I was like, I was watching all your videos today on YouTube. I seen you today because I did. And then Clay Matthews, I was wearing my Clay Matthews Jr. shirt, and he's like, it's what did he say? Oh, I have it on tape too, because I always have my receipts. Oh, he's like, it's a blessing that you're wearing my shirt. It's like, oh, I got his autograph too. But anyways, yeah, that's awesome. My ultimate now, I've never met Joe Thomas, and he's my favorite. I just think he's such a terrific guy. You know, he just seems like such a nice guy. I just love him to death. I would love to meet him. It's going to happen. I know it's going to happen because I manifested it.
Yeah.
One day.
It'll happen.
I mean, even if I go into an autograph signing, I will go to one of his autograph signings one day. You know what I mean? I can make anything happen. You can make anything happen. If you want to meet Joe Thomas, look it up on the internet. Where is he going to go? You know what I mean?
Right.
There's ways to do it. And like with Dewan, I wrote him a note, and I wrote him a letter. That little letter was after the 49ers game. And I don't remember exactly what it said, but it just said that, you know, Browns fans, we do believe in you guys. And he sat there and I was like so embarrassed. Like I didn't think, you know, when you give someone a card and a gift, you don't expect them to read the card in front of you. You know what I mean? It was like this. I'm like, oh my God, I should right now. Like, I was just gonna hand it off and go. You know what I mean?
My letter. He's reading my letter.
The whole thing. I'm like, oh God. But he, like, it was a nice letter. That's why I said it's not my digits. Don't worry. But you never know. And I'm sure it didn't mean a lot because after that he did friend me, and it, like, you know, not trying to brag about it, but that is like those little things. Like you make an impression on someone. You know, like he wrote me a message on X after that.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
So, you know, what should I bring to the game Sunday if I go with Lana? I told Lana should make the cookies, and she should give them to Kevin Stefanski and stick them down her bra. No, we got.
Oh my gosh. No,
yes, I'm double triple fisted. See, I'm so embarrassed. Every time I go back and watch the podcast, everyone sounds so classy but me. I'm like, oh man, that's so embarrassing.
Not at all. You're passionate. That's right. We all are.
That's what being a Browns fan is all about.
It is. It is without a doubt. I mean, this is drilled in us as soon as we can get up and walk. Right? As soon as we're 9-10 months old and we're walking, the parents are like, okay, now you're going to be a Browns fan, right? You're going to be a Browns fan. Okay, good.
Or as soon as you make a decision that you kind of like, you know, the pain and stuff, but it's different now, you know. The Browns are a good team.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Right.
The longer you've been a fan, and all three of us have been a fan for a long time, it
Some
becomes
of us longer than
different
others.
relationship, you know?
Yeah.
It becomes because you go through the highs, the lows, and it makes the ride even better. And that's why games like after we won this game, that's why it meant so much because of the highs and the lows and the highs and the lows. So it's nice to, I like to see Browns fans united. I love that. I hate when there's tension and, you know, after a game, I can't stand that. I like everybody to go Browns each other. Go Browns.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. What do you guys, I don't like, you don't look too much in the future, you said, but you think you see us potentially getting into the playoffs, the Cleveland Browns?
What do you think, Bill?
If we do what we're supposed to do, yes. Whether it's win the AFC North or whether it's get a wild card. I mean, you look at the teams who were good, who are just struggling right now. And there's no reason why we can't just stay focused on the next game, do your job, and make enough plays to win the game and move on. I mean, this team, I think this team is just so interesting because I think we all want a perfect game from this team, right? And this team is far from perfect. And this coaching staff is far from perfect. But you know what? It's probably the best group of guys that we've had that represented the city. And it's probably the best group of coaches that we've had too over the past couple of years, without a doubt. And I know I've been critical of Kevin a lot last year. And Rod, on your show, I've been critical of him too. But I tell you, the past couple of games here, I think he's starting to kind of get a groove. I think he's starting to kind of feel for what they can do offensively. And then I think also understand what he's got with his defense. I think we will be the playoffs. Where we'll be, I don't know. But I think we'll definitely be playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, the Browns are 6-3. They got 8 games left. I don't like to look too much at schedule, but I don't see why this team, especially if Watson's able to keep playing, hopefully the ankle's not a hindrance to him in that.
And he's back from that MRI. I mean, I'm sure they have the report by now, but we just haven't heard anything, correct?
Yeah,
we'll hear about it tomorrow.
He pretty much said he's going to play. So, unless his ankle or his foot's fallen off or it's broken, that he's going to play. So, hopefully that'll be the case. But I mean, they have eight games left. I just looking at schedule, I have a hard time seeing them going less than 5-3. Which would give them 11 wins. And I think if they get 11 wins, I think they're going to be in the playoffs. I
agree.
And if they do better than that, great. If not, I'd be thrilled to death to see the Browns go, what's that, 11-6? 11-6. It's harder math with the 17 game schedule. You got to admit, even for Bill. I'm a math guy, but nowhere near Bill's category. So.
Oh, you're too kind.
Yeah.
You're too kind.
I'm horrible at math. Yeah. I mean, I'm feeling like if we continue this momentum and the shift that we're on now, I don't see why we can't go to the playoffs. I think we'd be our own worst enemy. I mean, everything we've already battled through everything. I just want to see this continue. I would love to see. I love the fact that it seems like the team is united and cohesive, and they trust Deshaun Watson. I think they needed to see that game as well too. They like him.
Agreed.
And I really think one thing about Deshaun Watson, like whether he was rusty at the beginning, I never felt like he didn't want to play. I always felt like he wants to play. I know he got paid, but I really think that he still wants to win, and I think he wants to prove something. And I think that's what we've seen in the second half of the last game. And I hope we continue to see that. And I hope he does prove something. I want him to do good. Jeez, I mean, so that means if he does good, we all do good. So I'm all about it. I'm so excited. And it's so fun. And it's so nice to win, isn't it? It's like it's such a different feeling,
Can you imagine a home playoff game?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it could happen. I mean,
that would be unbelievable, right? That would be just crazy.
We beat the Steelers. Are we going in first place?
It depends on what happens with Baltimore and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And they play on Thursday.
What do you think about that game? I think, I don't know, Cincinnati lost the last game, didn't they? I don't even know about that team too. They're look high and low too. That would be interesting to see this one, Cincinnati and the Ravens.
I mean, that's a tough game. I mean, Cincinnati has the ability to put points up on anybody. It just, it all depends. And that Baltimore defense has the ability to kind of stop anybody too. So feels like one of those games that's kind of going to depend how it starts. Who gets the momentum and I don't know. It's a game that I definitely wouldn't put any money on either way. That's for sure.
You don't know. Cincinnati needs this game. If they don't win this game, they're done. I really think they're done. There is no way they're going to get a playoff spot. They have to win Thursday. Baltimore can afford to lose. Cincinnati cannot afford to lose.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right.
A tie, well, I tell you, we talk about how ties actually are from a playoff standpoint are actually pretty good for tiebreakers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I go back and forth. On one hand, I'm like, yeah, I want to see Cincinnati win and give Baltimore another loss, and then another one, I'm like, yeah, I want to see Baltimore win so Cincinnati shut out of the play. It's such a tough thing. I don't know. I don't know what I want to see, but that's going to be a huge game. And this is one of the reasons why the NFL needs to do a better job of having games that they can flex. That Browns-Ravens game, that would have been the most watched game, obviously, of the day had they put it at 8:00. That would have been by far the most watched game, maybe not just this year, but maybe for the past couple of years, just a regular season game. Every time the AFC North has a game, it's a great game, And the NFL needs to figure out their flexing thing, because I'm sorry, when you give games that are really ridiculous and you're trying to pump that up for people to watch, ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, you got 4 teams that are, well, at least before last week, were in line for playoff spots, and none of them were playing in prime time.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Doesn't make sense.
But the Giants were.
Oh, that was a heck of a game, wasn't it?
Damn.
But really,
maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Do you see how the schedule makers gave the Ravens their last 8 games? They had 6 at home. 6 at home in their last 8 games. I mean, come on. You don't tell me that the NFL doesn't want the Ravens to win.
All right. They definitely don't want the Browns to win, that's for sure.
Nobody wants to
make them talk about. Like, they actually talked a little bit about them a little bit more today. I seen that Dave Njoku, he won the angry runs today. Yeah. He won the angry runs. So we're good happy for that. I'm glad to see you got another touchdown too after he dropped that pass. So much happened. We're so much room for activities, but that's okay because we're on to the next game. This Sunday, you guys, this wraps up here. We've been on here about an hour. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to say a couple things really quickly. That's the first time I touched that thing. First of all, you guys, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I'm so happy to get a chance to get you guys on. So it was the privilege to have you both.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Thank you. I'm glad we got to do this. Make sure you guys give them a follow on Twitter. When's your on the X? When's your podcast? Is it on Tuesdays or Wednesdays? On Apple?
It kind of flutters through the week. It's gonna be on Thursday this week.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. You can find us at the Browns Blitz.
You need to do a beer one. You need to do a whole beer show. You haven't done one.
I haven't even thought about that recently, Bill. Maybe in January after the Browns, play some playoff games and stuff. We'll do that.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do a beer episode.
Wait,
those were fun episodes, man.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for the invite here, Yvette. I'm sorry that we couldn't get the other 2 of your trio here, but they are missed.
Yes, absolutely. We'll have to do this again then for sure.
Anytime.
Yeah. Any other closing things before you guys want to get out?
No, I mean, my podcast is part of the Fanatical Elves Network, so people can follow that. I think it's at Elves something or other. Yeah, it's on my Elves Network, ELFZ Network. So you can check out some stuff there, and if anybody gives me a follow, they'll see what else I have going on. So, but yeah, absolutely appreciate the invite, Yvette. It's been great talking some Browns with you.
Awesome, you guys. I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much. Check out my website at bgsports.com. Browns fans of any sports, fans of anything, anyone who's watching, let's all pray that the Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday. We all need this. All right, let's do it for me, you guys. Do it for me. We got to beat the Steelers. so bad.
You want to do a screw the Steelers like from the old time 70s and early 80s where we just go screw the Steelers, screw the Steelers, screw the Steelers in the ground? Or do you just want to do a go Browns? What do you want to do?
Can't we do screw the Steelers, go Browns?
All right.
All right.
Rod, you remember that when we used to do that in the 70s and 80s and every radio station would say screw the Steelers, screw the Steelers, screw the Steelers in the ground?
I don't think I remember that.
Oh, you don't?
My memory
over and over and over. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Screw the Steelers. Screw the Steelers. Screw the Steelers. And
Go Browns.
Go Browns.
Go Browns, everyone. Thank you so much. And keep it classy, Cleveland.
Arrivederci.
And it'll take me 20 miles.